Hello guys, this is Rahul and welcome to the another part of the brainstem where we are discussing about the medulla. Till now under brainstem we started with the medulla and we told that we have three parts. The brainstem has three parts: medulla, pons and midbrain. So we started with medulla. We completed the external features of medulla, both the ventral surface and dorsal surface. Then we jumped into the internal features, and to study the internal features we had to study at three different levels. First was at the level of pyramidal decussation, then at the level of sensory decussation, and at the level of olivary level. So till now we completed the pyramidal decussation, sensory decussation. Now we shall discuss about the section at olivary level, and in this video we will discuss about the section at olivary level, and the video will be in the same pattern. We will first discuss about the grey matter and the white matter at this level, and then we will draw a figure representing or locating all those features. Okay, so if you have not watched our previous videos on external features of the medulla or internal features at the level of pyramidal decussation, sensory decussation, all these videos will be included in the I button. As you know, all the videos cannot be included on the I button. I can include maximum 3 videos on the I button. Some of the remaining videos will be given at the end screen of this video, and if you wish to watch those videos before this video, it will be very good. I recommend watching those videos before watching this video to have continuity to the topic, and you can find all those videos in our playlist named neuroanatomy. Okay, we have a lot more topics under that playlist. You can find the brainstem and medulla, internal and external features. Okay, so now let's get back to the olivary level. So as in previous video, first let's discuss about the grey matter at this level. So you will see various nuclei. Okay, several nuclei are seen, and those nuclei are seen, and they are: first is hypoglossal nucleus, and paramedian in position. Okay, hypoglossal nucleus, paramedian in position. So you will find this nucleus when you will be more clear about this when you will discuss the figure. Okay, so hypoglossal nucleus in paramedian in position, lateral to hypoglossal is dorsal nucleus of vagus. Okay, dorsal nucleus of vagus. Then ventrolateral to vagus is nucleus of tractus solitarius. Okay, nucleus of tractus, tractus solitarius. So if this is the figure, the figure at this level is somewhat like this. Okay, so paramedian position is the hypoglossal nucleus, lateral to the hypoglossal nucleus is the dorsal nucleus of vagus, lateral to the dorsal nucleus vagus. Okay, and I told you this is the dorsal and this is the ventral position. Yes or no? This side is ventral, this one is the dorsal side. So the position of vagus is the position of tractus solitarius is ventrolateral, but lateral. So this it should be like this. Okay, so ventrolateral to the vagus is tractus solitarius. Okay, so when you draw a figure, you will be much more clear. Just an overview about the position. Okay, then vestibular nuclei medial to inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay, so I'll discuss all these points at once. Okay, so that it will save some time. Inferior, medial to, okay, TO, I forgot this. Okay, medial to inferior cerebellar peduncle. Then we have dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei. Okay, dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei on the surface of inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay, then okay, so this was 1A. Okay, under several nuclei are seen, we see these nuclei. Okay, so the next point is spinal nucleus. Remember this spinal nucleus of trigeminal, spinal nucleus and tractor of trigeminal, geminal is dorso laterally located. Okay, so nucleus ambiguous. Ambiguous is deep in the reticular formation of medulla and gives rise to motor fibers of 9, 10 and 11 cranial nerves. Okay, motor fibers of 9, 10 and 11 cranial nerves. Okay, I'll add photos. Cranial nerves. Okay, principal inferior olivary nucleus. Okay, principal inferior RIOR, principal inferior olivary nucleus is the largest mass of gray matter seen at this level. Okay, largest mass of gray matter seen at this level, and around it there are other olivary nuclei at this level. Around, I am writing PIO. Okay, PION. Okay, leave it. Around principal olivary nucleus are dorsal and medial accessory olivary nucleus. Okay, accessory olivary nucleus. Fine. Then you will find arcuate nucleus, anteromedial to the pyramids. Okay, and visceral centers like respiratory center. Okay, then you'll have cardiac and vasomotor center. Okay, cardiac center for regulation of heartbeat, heart rate, and vasomotor center for regulation of blood pressure. Okay, cardiac center and vasomotor center. So this is about gray matter. Now let's come to the white matter, which is relatively short topic or very short. So in the white matter, inferior cerebellar peduncle is seen. Laterally. Okay, then emerging fibers of 9, 10 and 11 nerves. Okay, 9, 10 and 11 cranial nerves, and as we know the dorsal and ventral spinocerebellar tract. So sorry about this. Dorsal and ventral. Okay, dorsal and ventral spinocerebellar tract occupy the anterolateral part. Okay, occupy anterolateral part. Stria medullaris is seen in the floor of fourth ventricle. Okay, so this much to discuss on the white matter and gray matter altogether. Now we shall come to the figure and locate all these points and be clear, so that later on practicing the figure and reading the points once will make us perfect to write answers just drawing the diagram. Okay, now let's come to the figure. As usual, the outline has already been drawn for the sake of saving time, so let's continue. So if you have not copied, or if you don't feel like copying during watching the video, you can find the notes, that means the handwritten, whatever we wrote during the class. You can find those points same as we wrote in the class in our Facebook page. Okay, that is Doctors to Be. The name is same, Doctors to Be, but for your ease, the link to the post is provided in the description, so do check it out. If you don't like to copy the notes or take the points during watching a video, while we watch a video, but if you feel that you need it later on, you can find it on our Facebook page, and the link to the post will be in the description. Okay, not only for this, for every whatever we discuss, the notes will be provided, or the whatever we write will be uploaded on our Facebook page, and link to that post will be given in the description of the respective video. Okay, so you can find it, go check it. This is all for your ease. So let's continue drawing, and then we'll soon discuss after completing of the drawing. Okay, so this is the principal inferior olivary nucleus. Okay, as you can see, it's the largest gray matter seen at this level. Okay, principal inferior olivary nucleus, and around it are the dorsal and medial. This is dorsal, this is medial. Okay, accessory olivary nucleus. This is the nucleus ambiguous, located deep in the reticular formation. This is Tractus solitarius, nucleus of Tractus solitarius, hypoglossal. Okay, I hope you are seeing it. So this is first, second, third, okay, this is fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, this is 8. Better not to write 8. I hope it will be much more clear if I label it outside. Okay, so this is tractal up to 6. I hope you are clear up to 6. This is 6, 1, oh no, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so this is figure. Okay, first let's label it. Let's label the other parts. This is the pontobulbar body. Inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay, posterolateral. Yes or no? Postero and lateral. If this is the index, posterior or dorsal, ventral or anterior. Yes or no? So posterolateral in position inferior cerebellar peduncle. Okay, this is the tract of, or okay, nucleus of, spinal nucleus of trigeminal. Spinal nucleus of trigeminal. Okay, and these are the, as we know, dorsal and ventral. So this part is dorsal and this is the ventral. Okay, dorsal and ventral. Spinocerebellar tract. Spinocerebellar tract. So I hope you are not getting confused with the, or it's not, I don't think so it is that messy. If it is, I am very sorry for that. I'll try to make it clear as possible. Okay, spinocerebellar tract, and then this is the arcuate nucleus. And okay, we discussed all the parts over here. So now let's come to the nucleus. First one is the hypoglossal nucleus, paramedian in position. Okay, hypoglossal nucleus. Then 2 is the lateral to hypoglossal nucleus was, try to remember, lateral to hypoglossal nucleus was the dorsal nucleus of vagus. Yes or no? So I would recommend to keep the note at the side so that you can see the note, and also the figure to help you. Okay, that will help you. Okay, and where you will find the note, you know, description is in the link. Dorsal nucleus of vagus. Okay, dorsal nucleus of vagus. Third is the Tractus solitarius. Okay, and what was the position of Tractus solitarius? Ventrolateral to the vagus. Yes or no? Ventral, it is coming to the ventral side and it is a bit lateral, so ventrolateral to the vagus. Okay, now fourth one is the nucleus ambiguous, nucleus, nucleus ambiguous, giving rise to the, okay, deep in the reticular formation, giving rise to 9, 10 and 11 cranial nerves, motor fibers of the 9, 10 and 11 cranial nerves. Okay, so fifth one is fifth and sixth are, 5 is medial, 6 is dorsal. Okay, so 5 is medial, so medial respectively. Okay, medial and dorsal, what, they are the accessory olivary nucleus. Yes or no? And our seventh one is the inferior olivary nucleus. Principal inferior olivary nucleus. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the labels and the diagram. Once again, okay. Now we have left some of the parts. This is the vestibular nuclei, okay. Vestibular nuclei, inferior cerebellar peduncle, medial to inferior cerebellar peduncle is the vestibular nuclei. It is the vestibular group of nuclei, okay. Or you can say vestibular nuclei also you can write. Then these are the cochlear nuclei. Okay, one is cochlear or the other one is, this one is cochlear. This one is the accessory cunate nucleus, okay. Accessory cunate nucleus, this is the cochlear nuclei. So is there anything left? Yeah. So these parts, okay, so I'll label it 8 over here, 9 over here, 10, this is 1, this is 10, this is 11, okay. So I hope you are able to see it. 8 are the pyramids, pyramidal tracts. 9 medial lemniscus, okay. We have already discussed about these parts and what are these. 10 is tectospinal tract. And 11 is medial longitudinal fasciculus. Don't get confused into medial lemniscus and medial longitudinal fasciculus, okay. Most of us get confused over here. Medial longitudinal fasciculus. Okay, so all together this is the figure representing the olivary level, section at olivary level, okay. So here we complete our discussions on the medulla along with internal features and external features at 3 different levels, and the external features dorsal and ventral are already uploaded. So you can find all those videos in our playlist named neuroanatomy. And neuroanatomy just doesn't contains the videos only about medulla. It contains videos discussing various topics under neuroanatomy, okay. So any other topic you feel that you should study or studying those topics will help you, you can click on the video and subscribe to the channel would be great if you like us, if you like our work. So, and one thing, we'll discuss about the clinical anatomy, okay, clinical part of the medulla after once we complete the features. Now we have to, in the same manner, we'll discuss about the pons. No, as we know that brainstem has 3 parts: medulla, pons, and the midbrain. Now, after we complete the pons, internal and external features, then we'll discuss about the clinicals of both, okay, medulla and pons, all together in a single video, okay. So we'll see you in the next video where we'll discuss about the features, internal and external features of pons, which is the next part of the brainstem. So keep tuned, keep watching. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye guys.